morning, everybody. Welcome to the kitchen. Today we're going to make a shepherd's pie, and we're using ground lamb. We're going to have peas and carrots, onion, fresh rosemary. We're going to use some Worcester and A1 sauce and beef stock to help give it a nice flavor. And we are going to use, normally I use regular Idaho potatoes, but today we want to increase our nutritional value from our food and make things healthier. So we are going to be using these beautiful sweet potatoes on top. We're going to make mashed sweet potatoes and put that on top because the sweet potato has a lot more nutrients in it than a regular white Idaho potato. So we're going to bump up our nutrients with the sweet potato. So let's get everything mise en place, and we're going to measure everything out, and then we can start making our recipe. And we need our milk and butter for the sweet mashed potatoes. All right, so we boiled all of our cut up sweet potatoes, and we were practicing slicing, so my students cut them up really small. And we're gonna add in our butter and our milk. And then we're gonna use the potato masher and mash away until we've got a beautiful, nice mashed sweet potatoes. So we're gonna brown our ground lamb, and I've got this large skillet over medium heat, and we're just gonna put this in and brown it. So we're just gonna break that up. I got a wooden spoon, break it up and brown it. And what we wanna do at the end is that I can drain off any excess fat. There's a lot of fat from lamb, and so I try to make things healthier. And once we get finished doing this, we'll drain off that excess fat. Our lamb is really nice and brown, so I'm gonna put it here and let any of the fat drain off. And then I'm going to saute our onions in the same pan, but I'm also gonna add a little bit of olive oil, a healthier oil for you than the fat from the lamb. All right, so we've got our lamb draining in there, and I've added some, I did take a paper towel and wipe out the excess fat from here as well. And now we've added some olive oil, and we've got the heat on, and we're gonna sear our onions. You can see there's quite a bit of onions. That was a large Spanish onion, 2 cups at least. I'm gonna get this golden brown. Here is our beautiful rosemary, and this has such wonderful flavor. So we're gonna strip the leaves off of the woody stem, and then we're gonna finely chop them up. And we need 1 teaspoon of finely chopped rosemary. I really like to get it very, very, very finely chopped, very small. So I'm gonna take some time to do that. We have a nice, beautiful golden brown color on our onions. And so now we're gonna add in our flour, and we're gonna stir that around. And the flour is gonna help thicken the beef stock that we add. And so we're gonna get that in and stir this around. You wanna heat it up. So stir this for about 1 minute. Our flour's been cooking for a minute, and I was stirring it. Now I'm gonna add in our beautiful, finely minced rosemary. That has a lot of flavor. I'm gonna add in our salt. Stir this all around, and then we're gonna add in our beef stock. All right, we got 1 tablespoon of A1 sauce, and then I'm gonna add 1 tablespoon of Worcester. Worcester, yay. Now, if you want, you can add a little bit more and change the flavor, the way you like it. So if you wanna add a little more rosemary, add a little more A1, or a little more Worcester, or more salt, please go right ahead. Or if you're not a fan of one of these, you can omit it. Make sure you tailor it to your liking, and then we're gonna let this cook, and we're gonna return the lamb to it and let it cook down until it's a bit thick. So here are our finished, beautiful mashed sweet potatoes. Look how smooth that is. So this is gonna go on top, and that looks so delicious. So that is gonna be wonderful. All right, so look how thick our juices have gotten. And I have our baking tin right here. I already sprayed it with some Pam nonstick cooking spray. And we're gonna add in our meat on the bottom. Then we'll layer it with our peas and carrots. And then on the top, all of those mashed sweet potatoes. And then we pop it in the oven and bake it all together. we've got our ground lamb in this tin, and now we're gonna add in our peas and carrots. They've defrosted, completely defrosted, so we're just gonna spread a layer of these over our ground lamb. Now we're gonna top it with sweet potatoes. Now I actually have quite a bit of sweet potatoes, this is a lot. So I'm gonna spread a layer of it, and then if whatever's left over, we can obviously just snack on and enjoy. But I did want to have an ample layer of sweet potatoes. There we go. We've got most of that on top. I just don't want it to be too thick. So for this size, I only have 1 pound of ground lamb on the bottom, and it is a bit thin, but I did want to do a large one. If you're going to do this at home and use this size pan, I recommend 2 pounds of ground lamb. That's probably better. When I make it at home, I do it in a smaller dish, but let's get the size of this so you know. So this is an 8 by 11 tin, and we're gonna put it into a 350-degree oven. We're gonna cook it 30 minutes and then see how it is. Just got this beauty out of the oven. It was in for about 40 minutes at 325. I turned it down a little bit. Now, I don't have a broiler, but if you do have a broiler, you could put this back under the broiler for 5 minutes and get a nice crispy golden top. So I don't, unfortunately, but I'm sure this is going to taste absolutely wonderful. Look at this. Here is our shepherd's pie. Look at all the beautiful juices coming out. Still hot, piping hot, as you can see. And here we have our layers. So you've got the lamb on the bottom, then you've got your veggies, and topped by our sweet potatoes, mashed sweet potatoes. This looks absolutely stunning. I'm gonna take a bite and let you know how it tastes. This is absolutely delicious. You can taste that fresh rosemary in there. It is so good. I love it, and I love the sweet potatoes on top. Much more nutritious for you. So here is our recipe. 1 pound ground lamb, 1 tablespoon of olive oil, 2 cups of onion, 1 tablespoon all-purpose flour, 1.5 cups of beef broth, 1 teaspoon fresh rosemary, finely minced, 1 tablespoon Worcester sauce, 1 tablespoon A1 or HP sauce if you have it, 2 pounds, and I did sweet potatoes instead of Idaho potatoes, 1 tablespoon of butter, 1/2 cup of milk, and 1/2 teaspoon of salt, plus a 1 pound bag of frozen peas and carrots. Forgot to type that in. So I hope this inspires you to cook at home. Please make it. It is absolutely delicious. I'm going to share this now with a couple of my classes and go downstairs to the administration and make them all happy. Okay, everybody, take care. Bye-bye. For more recipe demonstrations, please click like and subscribe to Chef Victoria Loves YouTube channel and have fun in the kitchen. Thank you.